Morning, folks, and happy Easter today. I hope you've had your fill of chocolate already. I have. Probably spoilers for me dinner. What we've got in front is armies in plastic, 54mm figures. And last year, when I got into the colonial wars, um, I got the bug off me mate Lee, and I just got stuck in to the research. Forgetting a lot of it now, but it was around about August last year, and it finished about October when we last ordered from Perry's. But in the meantime, I had nothing to work with, even though I was interested and I was looking at all these pictures, and I realised that I had a box set of the Highlanders, the Black Watch from Armies in Plastic. So no idea about khaki, just colours. Um, just had a look and seen what there was, and made them up really, I think it was desert sand, was a dark sand I was using. And I'd painted one in one of my earlier styles, like what I painted me American Civil War guys, it's like an old glossy toy soldier style, and that was a desert yellow by Army Painter. Um, these guys, I had no idea what I was doing at the time. I was excited to start the project, and I didn't have any figures at all. Um, so I think I ended up painting these as that one. Definitely was an attempt at a Gordon Highlander. You can tell they've got the red hackle. Scottish regiments awarded them. Controversy behind them. Some say it was during the War of Independence. There's another source saying it was in 1795 after the Battle of Geldermalsen in Holland. I'm not too sure. I haven't done that much research on it yet. I was getting into it, but I switched. These it's more like the Gordon Highlanders with a yellow stripe on the tartan. We had the hackle in, and I'm not too sure if that was accurate. Just I had no idea where I was going. So these were my sample figures, and I was just seeing what I could do. Well, I had a sprue on order. Uh, yeah, I thought I'd do a canny job of them, but like the really big figures, a bit more detail on them than what comparison when I first done one years ago. I'm not too sure if that's an improvement or I've kind of done the one like that on purpose just to get that old toy soldier look, And this one was more like going to be like how I was going to paint them. So what I did is I ordered a sprue, and while I was waiting, I thought I like my model buildings, so I thought I'm going to have a go and make them a barracks, a Victorian barracks, Why? No idea. So I just like making models. So if I can make this a bit smaller, you can see. So I made this out of a foam board, the 5mm foam board. Bought some. It's what is it called again? This so the red brick building sheets, Amazon, Metcalf's. Bought a couple of the windows or small scale buildings, copied them myself, cast them myself. That a door come in a separate set for them. I think they're for little small scale buildings for dolls' houses or something. That's just off a perfume bottle. Just like a man's perfume bottle, so it had a metal plate, and I thought that would be ideal for a plaque to go above the door of an army barracks. So with that coming, I was having fun, still waiting for my sprues. So I built a sentry box. It's a simple design, I could see. That's just made out of lots of wood and cardboard. So when they finally come the sprue, I ordered Perry's British colonial sprue and the Zulu War sprue, and what I did is I made a few figures. The first one was I tried to copy a British military policeman. I'll try and get a close up of that one. That was kind of my attempt at one, while looking at the plates. The white making it stand out with the white gloves on. Spike on his helmet. And that guy would be there. He looks the part. So what I wanted was a couple of our military like guards and that. So what I liked is the Afghan War to start off with. So I thought I'd make a couple of guards, stand out white helmet in the khaki, and this was like an early colour khaki because it was kind of used in the started to be used in the Afghan War, by some of the Indian units. I think it was first used, and the British adapted it. So I've got these guys based back somewhere in London, England, ready, guarding the barracks. I really enjoyed doing this part of it, There's also actually there's a dog that comes in the British sprue set, from the Battle of Maiwand. I forgot what it's called now. Like, anyway, that they're the units. They're the figures that I've done as testers. What else is I got these? If you hold on a second, I'll just pause this and I'll get them. What we've got in front of us is a couple of the Perry metals range for the colonials, and some British plastic Perrys, kitbashed with heads on from metal heads from warlords. I think it's the Hindu or the Sikh heads, and that's them. So these basically was just like a head swap, and the guys are done up as I think it's a company of sappers and miners, I think, for the Indians, Bombay ones, I think. At the time I was doing 8-man companies, so 8 men a company. This is a Grenadier. I think I've got the book with them on the front. Not that one. This one. This guy here. I don't know what they're called again. Yep. Bombay Grenadiers, the first Bombay Grenadiers. So that was my attempt at them. And I'll get a closer look. That better. And that's the guy off the Osprey. I don't know actually if they fought in the Red Jackets, but I know a lot of the Indian regiments were proud to wear the British red. This one, his hat's a bit chipped there now because he's just been stolen on the shelf. This is one of Jacob's rifles. I've seen various different representations of it in green jackets and nothing different, and I thought, like, I'll give him the green turban and then I'll just give him like a field khaki top, and the red pants, which I seem to have retained. And I've got basically, if we're going on regiments, I've got like 36 of them. I think 36 of these. Also, this was for the second Afghan War. I bought some the Perry's Highland watch. But when I was looking, it wasn't the black watch that was over there. I think it was the Gordon's Highlanders. So I kept these, and I'm not too sure what else to do with them. I thought, like, what I'll do is I'll keep them for another project, and it was likely it'll turn into the Boer War. That's what turned into the Boers War. So what I did is I painted up a load that I could, trying different heads and that for different regiments. Backpack for the sappers from there, and I think that's a head from mate Lee sent us some heads, and I think they're from either British 8th Army or the Warlord Commonwealth set, and them seem to look the part as well, it's a little kit bash. So I've got to accompany them guys. What else I did? I suppose there's a second while I get something else. Right after the fascination with the second Afghan War in Afghanistan with the British forces, I decided to collect all the units for the Battle of Maiwand, and I made it all from Perry's, and I got like most of them from there. But once that sort of faded out, I ended up getting into the Boer War, and I think it's because I was watching a few things on YouTube, and I come across this great film, another one with Edward Woodward in, Breaker Morant. He like excuses about the neighbour's dog and never stops barking. And that's about the Australian units sent to fighting the Boers War, South Africa, and it's about the Bushveld Carbineers. One of the sentence pauses. Right, back. Sorry, folks. Had a episode there where the neighbour's dog was barking and wouldn't stop. These things happen. Right. What I was going to show you, what else I got is I seen Carl from Brush and Quill, and he painted a couple of these guys up from Lancashire Games, and they're British. Hiya, Gordon. That's my cat. What are you doing, son? There we go. Right. A couple of these British light cavalrymen, which I thought would be ideal for the Bushveld Carbineers. Nice little figures. Carl painted them really well. When I seen that could get a good lick of paint, I thought I'll go for it, get some. So it was them on the horse, and there's these guys. The only thing is the bayonets rather flimsy, but they've got everything, they've got the bullet pouches, and basically just got the feather and the cap, the hackle there. So those guys don't stand well. Basically, you've got to base them. I decided to have a mess around with one of them, and I give him a plain head, see what he look like, and paint him up for the South African theatre for the colonials. and they turned it rather well, you know. I think it was just like a 400-man regiment. I think the Bushveld Carbineers, mix of mounted and foot. So they are doable. They're doable. I tried a few other units, making a few more for the South African theatre, either New Zealanders or Australians, various hats. I tried from different, like Kitbashing really. I got the loose heads, more warlord I think though. They're the Canadian ones. The lemon hats. What else? I've got the loose ones, which are more like it because they've got the pinned for the Australian units. You know, they've got the pinned hats. You know, but you've got to find like a bare head that'll fit on for them, and then get them onto a Perry's body. You know, which is quite hard work. I think I've done a couple. And I found it too much hard work. So this one, I don't know if this is maybe an American Civil War hardy hat. I think it might be that one. Yeah, let's get a closer look. So he's kind of like Boer Warish. I mean, they don't have the bullet pouches on, you know. Still like a start of the early war there. But there's nothing you can do about that with the set, you know. The plastics. This one, I'm going to say there's a Canadian, and that's black patina, maple leaf, but you cannot really make it out there. That's what he's supposed to be, Canadian, and like rather darker khaki. This one, it's another one. I took the bayonet off. Again, you cannot see it close up. It's hard work getting it on. It's just maybe like a star, like the maple leaf, you know. It's another guy. Really enjoyed doing these, you know. I mean, it's like this was gonna be my project for this year, for 2023, but it never came off, you know. Got distracted again. Got all the read materials, working out there how many men, a regiment, and that, you know. Got sidetracked once again, but I definitely want to go back to it because I think they're brilliant units. Getting caught in something there. He's being caught, by another spray or something. These backpack. Maybe should have put like a grass brush on there instead of the grass, you know. Yeah, just to make them look dirty and not and dusty and sandy for the South African theatre, you know. And another one. Covered in some kind, I think it must be a spray or something. Yep. Bases, I just made the bases myself, you know. It's a 8-man company base for pennies. Yeah, so that was that. What else I was interested in was a few, like, to make the figures up for scenario and that, just not necessarily to play the game, but just to make them up. And I thought a really good one would be that train ambush that Churchill uh, was in 1899, and I watched the film Young Winston, which is a classic film, um, and I was looking through it, who I was in the armoured train cart, and it just run off like what the units were. As you see in it, they hit something, they get derailed, and they get ambushed and bombarded with cannon off the Boers, and there was one unit I noticed was that I found out was the Durban Light Infantry, and it clearly shows them in the film, and I imagine it's sort of accurate. I couldn't find any good plates of them. Just maybe, I think what I found was band members and and they had white facings, and they have this in the film as well. They still have the points on the helmet. They have the old gear, and this is like sort of a glossy him. Uh, they still have the point in the helmet, the old thing, and white facings, and I thought, oh, they look kind of good them, or would they be doable on a Perry's figure, And this is like kind of my representation of Durban light infantry or light fusilier. Figure I got the other day, I showed you, was the Winston, my version. This was the Wallace Hamilton who went with the Afghan unit, the siege of the fortress. Got them mixed up. That was actually the character I'd done for that. The one I did show you actually was my version of Winston Churchill, from Young Winston. That's how he's meant to be like. I mean, I think there was a Churchill figure giving out free at a salute or something. And maybe it's early 2016, 2017, I don't know. And I thought, oh, that looks alright, I'll do that. It was Churchill, not him. So the information I have some good sites for to show you. I'll just make it smaller. This one is BritishBattles.com. That's where I got all the information for the Battle of Maiwand. Some good plates on it. Covers most of the battles of the British Army. Gives you army lists. So on here you can see everything the British Army needed for the Battle of Maiwand, and I basically ordered all that in a scale, whatever, was an 8-man company scale, worked it out. These guys, that was the Bombay, second company, Bombay Sappers and Miners, and that was them guys, the first Grenadiers Bombay Army was going to be them guys. What else is on there? The horse is just going to be Perry's Indian Bengal Lancers, and you just convert them to anything, the Sinead horse, the Queen's Own. Artillery batteries, you can get the British colonial ones from Perry's. You got the whole lot in metal, and you can make some of the kitbash some of the units. The 66th Regiment, that was me and British one. I suffered in that one. So that site's great for all the British battles. There was another one for the Second Anglo-Afghan War. Is this site, and this shows you all the regiments that were in India, British regiments, the Indian regiments. Really great site, you know. Next one is this one. The Canadian War Museum. It's obviously in English and French, and this has got like the units from Canada fighting in the Boer War. You know, all the information on them, the unit numbers, and everything. And another good resource one is this one, angloboerwar.com, and this is absolutely marvellous, and I've got information about Durban light infantry in there, and they're just a few good sites for research, you know. Thanks very much for the likes, subscribing, the comments. I much appreciate it. I'm getting over 100 subscribers there now. Absolutely fantastic. Still a bit all over the place, higgly-piggly, but I think maybe the more I get to do them, the easier I'll get for them, you know. I mean, it's just, there's plenty of content I've got there to show, you know, watching everybody's, enjoying them, you know. Sites for the best one I've come across on YouTube is Chris Parkinson's Redcoat British Military History. His site is absolutely fantastic, and I started giving that a watch last year, you know. And that Chris has produced some good videos on the Anglo Wars, you know, the Zulu War and that. And he's great watching, you know. So I'll just round this up by saying enjoy the rest of your day for the Easter, and take care. Bye bye.